Hey, Drew.
Hey, Darren. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I guess I'll just get right to it. So I'm planning on resigning in late April to hike the Continental Divide Trail. So I wanted to give you, plenty of time to process that and perhaps find a replacement.
It's easy to be intimidated by the CDT. Of the 3 Triple Crown trails in the United States, it has a reputation for being the most difficult. It is raw, it is remote, and it is beautiful. The official Continental Divide Trail is 3,100 miles long and stretches from the US-Mexico border to the US-Canada border. I started northbound on the Mexico border. The desert kicked my ass in the beginning, and I quickly learned to respect the heat. The mornings were cool and pleasant, but for a few hours every afternoon it was too hot to hike, and it was best to rest in any shade I could find. Sometimes there was a clear trail to follow, and sometimes I had to walk from trail marker to trail marker. Fortunately, there's a navigation app that makes it easy to stay on course even when there's no service. Water management in the desert was a new challenge for me because water sources were further apart and less reliable than I was used to. I underestimated once and had to walk 9 miles without any water. But the challenges of New Mexico were well worth it. When you walk on road walks, you become kind of an expert at tracking. For instance, found this little Taco Bell sauce packet here on the side of the road. That can't be there unless there's a Taco Bell within spitting distance of here. So I'm gonna do a little more tracking, try to find this Taco Bell. The CDT is known for its long road walks. And while I never did find that Taco Bell, I spent plenty of time walking the roads of New Mexico. The CDT is also unique because it offers alternate routes. Very few people hike the entire official CDT because the alternates can provide better water, better resupply, shorter distance, or better scenery. One of my favorite CDT alternates was the Gila River. It meanders through a canyon and crosses the same river 200 times in the span of 55 miles. But wet feet aren't so bad when you've got good company, thermal springs, and gorgeous views. The Gila River is honestly one of my favorite sections of hiking that I've ever done. I spent about half my time on the CDT hiking alone. A few hundred people attempt the thru hike every year, but resupply logistics, route options, and injury made it easy to get out of sync with other hikers. After my first resupply, I hiked a full day without seeing a soul, and I was scared. It was not uncommon to go 48 hours without seeing a single person, and finding mountain lion prints didn't help my imagination. But every day I grew a little more comfortable and a little more confident. Eventually, I genuinely enjoyed the solitude. I did not expect my coldest day on trail to be in New Mexico. My hiking companion Peabody and I braved a mini snowfall and freezing temperatures with very little winter gear. On the bright side, the snow made for gorgeous hiking the next morning. The snow quickly melted, then it was back to dry, sunny days. I was fortunate enough to be joined by my friend from college, and we braved some miserable rainy weather together.
Yeah.
Thanks again for joining me, Oshwin. The CDT can be unpredictable, and sometimes it's necessary to adapt. I experienced this firsthand. I was within 100 miles of crossing into southern Colorado when I made a big decision.
More rough weather is expected in parts of the country. The strong storms are being blamed for at least 3 deaths. Parts of the Rockies, an early summer snowstorm.
Colorado saw record snow in the 2018-19 season. I saw videos of other hikers trudging through snow as early as northern New Mexico and worse in Colorado.
See if I can get up on it. Nope. Post holing waist deep.
I decided to fly north to the Canada border. This would allow time for the snow to melt in Colorado as I hiked south. And a week later, I was in Glacier National Park. Coincidentally, my friend Joe and his family were vacationing in Glacier when I arrived.
Red hair?
They let me crash their vacation for a couple days and took me on some awesome day hikes. Thanks again for the hospitality and good times, Baker family. But soon enough, I was back on my own, enjoying one of the most beautiful national parks on the planet. I saw a lot of wildlife in Glacier. Due to the volume of visitors and park protection, many animals are habituated to people. Even the mosquitoes were extra friendly. But for me, the wildlife wasn't as captivating as the terrain. The passes had some snow, but fortunately they weren't too dangerous. This pass is really pretty, but one hell of a workout. Freaking waterfall right there. Just absolutely beautiful. I've done a decent amount of hiking and backpacking, but Glacier National Park is on another level. After an amazing section in Glacier, I met up with some hospitable friends from the Appalachian Trail in Whitefish, Montana. But the highs of Glacier were abruptly followed by a scary low. Well, I'm like half a mile from the peak, but I don't know what to do because it like just started raining a little bit. And I just hear thunder on the other side. By far the thing I'm most scared of, and it seems to have happened. Stuck on a mountain with thunder. But I think this is probably the safest spot I'm gonna get because it's like a little grove of pine trees, but like just nowhere else to go, nowhere else to hide. Well, it's been about an hour and I've just been sitting here getting rained on, fucking freezing. I'm trying to do my best to film right now, but this camera isn't waterproof and it's getting wet, so I'm gonna put it away. I had, no exaggeration, one of the worst experiences of my life today. That thunderstorm on that mountain. 38 degrees and just like raining, sleeting, hailing for an hour and a half with lightning striking like every 30 seconds, like all over the mountains. I've never felt so trapped before.
One pathetic sob story later.
No rain for almost 36 hours, which is absolutely insane considering I got rained on every single day for 14 days before that. Lots of climbs today, but as long as there's not thunderstorms and rain at the top, I don't give two turtle shits. I'm just happy to be dry. After a couple rough weeks, Montana started to show some hospitality with fantastic clear days and magnificent scenery. Summer days in Montana provided 10 hours of sunlight, which increased my daily mileage. I love the physical challenge of high mileage days and the feeling of exhaustion after a long day of hiking. It's part of what makes backpacking fun for me. But as a result, I had the most insatiable appetite of my life. My typical diet was crunchy snacks, bars, and meals I had dehydrated ahead of time. A tuna wrap with avocado was a true delicacy. Montana also followed the CDT theme of vast pastures and plenty of cows. There were a few miles of trail that were guarded by thousands, if not millions, of grasshoppers. With every step, I could feel them colliding with my legs. Fortunately, it was only a minor nuisance, especially compared to the flies in Idaho and the mosquitoes in Yellowstone. For several hundred miles, I hiked with an ex-Marine who went by the trail named Salty, and we hiked some incredible sections together. He is a minimalist hiker, and I learned a lot from him. He also had a knack for hitchhiking, which is a pretty useful skill on the CDT. I was dependent on hitchhiking a lot, a couple times for trips that were for more than 2 hours. I was nervous about hitchhiking alone, but generally speaking, it was a positive experience. I met so many kind people who were willing to help out a complete stranger. The trail angel was giving us a lift from Anaconda back to the trailhead, and we stopped for breakfast. And when we came out, hopped in the truck, turned to look at the driver, and it is not the right truck. I just came out of the restaurant and jumped into some guy's truck, and he was in the driver's seat, and he turns to me and he's like, "Sorry, bud, I think you're in the wrong place." The kindness of the community, coupled with natural beauty, really makes backpacking a special experience. The more I hike in the United States, the more I realize how much natural beauty exists with very little appreciation. Our backyard is full of some of the most beautiful landscapes on the planet. I was really hitting my stride as I crossed into Wyoming, but the trail had other plans. Around this time, I was experiencing persistent pain in my knee. I previously had a significant surgery on it, so to be safe, I got off trail to have it looked at. The doctor found notable deterioration and recommended I end my thru hike immediately. And just like that, my thru hike was over. It was bittersweet for me to make this video. I was reminded of incredible experiences as well as my physical limitations. But if given the chance, I would do it all again. Because life was simpler. Because it was a mental and physical challenge. Because every day was an adventure. Because the wilderness is beautiful. Because I met amazing people. Because I was reminded of the friends I already have. Because it made me appreciate the little things. Because I don't know how much longer my knee will be healthy. And most importantly, because it makes me feel alive. So I thought that I found a scorpion shell. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I go to pick it up. It's just it's a piece of cow poop. I just touched a piece of cow poop. This cow scared the living crap out of me. Come on, bud. It's okay. We can share. Yep, that's my water source too. Ah, yes, thank you for the clarification. Did not know that horses could read, though.
Look at this! We are all the way out here trying to find these cans. And boy, is this a beautiful one. It's gotta be at least 10 stones.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, you're not allowed to pass me, man. A girl asked who the actor is who plays Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec. And it's been over 24 hours now, and I just cannot remember that guy's name. It's driving me crazy. Okay, I know it's not Neil Patrick Harris. Got that established. Fuck, I can't remember. I don't even think I should look it up when I have service. I don't think I deserve it. I think I remember there's a T, like Topher or something. So it's still day 3 of not knowing who the actor that plays Ron Swanson is. And I'm trying to be optimistic here, but I don't know how much longer I can hold on. Does anybody know who plays Ron Swanson? I found Cjbeards' house. Cjbeards' house. Oh. I almost slipped on mud. It's very muddy here. So I found something that's very interesting here in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. See right here? A perfect shoe print. Which can only mean one thing. The bears are wearing shoes.